Mic check, mic check, mic check. I gotta get this mic fixed. Gotta get this mic fixed at some point in time. We are hopping right into the live stream today. And I know a few people are coming over from the airport presentation, which we can talk about a little bit if you all want to. But as you can see from the title and the description, we are talking about how easy it is to invest. As you can see from the title and the description, we are talking about my live stream playing in the background. It is to, here we go. And yeah, we're going to be talking about Throp X a little bit, kind of giving a bit of a review, and then hopefully people who weren't there, they get a little bit of value from the discussion that we have today. And maybe in the future, they can join us virtually or in person. But just want to review it. I have a bunch of pictures that I want to go through. And there's also a bunch of articles that I want to share. Usually I share articles about what's happening in other parts of the island in Jamaica. But today, all the articles I'm sharing is all from all the coverage from Throp X 2024. And by all accounts, I want to say it went very, very well. I was very, very happy with how everything turned out, and mainly coming from the feedback from the people who attended Throp X more than anything else. And we had some really, really amazing, great partners and amazing hotel partners and sponsors, and they were able to make all this possible. I got to fix that mic at some point in time. I'm going to switch out that cord. Anyway, let's just talk about the airport presentation a little bit. If you didn't catch it, we just finished up over on my channel. I highly, highly recommend you check it out. I know it was specifically, I know it's specifically for Throp X, and usually I don't even release the videos this early. Usually we're deep into the new year, but it was one of these topics. Even Mr. Bryson, the one who made the presentation, he thought it was pertinent that we even share the PowerPoint presentation. And so if you are interested, even if you're just interested in that, I'm throwing the link in the comment section there, and you can just fill out the description. In the description below, there's a form. You fill out the form, and I'll shoot you over the PowerPoint presentation. And it's like, I think like 30 or 40 slides, really going into the details of financing, the metrics. If you're like your numbers person, like you're going to really, really appreciate this PowerPoint presentation. And I'd love to get that over to you. And I also, with the airport, I know we've talked a lot about it here on the stream. It answers a ton of questions. The presentation, like I said, he really does go into the nitty gritty, Mr. Bryson. And, thank you to him for driving out all the way from Kingston, and the Airports Authority of Jamaica for participating and supporting Throp X 2024. I sincerely, sincerely appreciate it. And I thought it was just so important to have a representative from the Airports Authority of Jamaica to give us exactly what's going on, because there's like so much speculation, hearsay, I think a bit of the sky is falling mentality, and it's based off of the unknown. And I understand it. I completely understand it. And if you don't know what's happening and what's going on, you may, if you're one of those people, you may think the worst of a situation or a circumstance. And I think Mr. Bryson does a really, really great job of essentially sticking to the facts and sticking to the numbers and the evidence, the information that is being presented to us, and letting us know why they did this, why they did that. I'm just going to give like a quick summary just so we're all on the same page. I'm not going to assume everybody saw the video. But essentially, what is happening is based on the numbers and the outlook that they are seeing, the authorities are seeing with the Montego Bay Airport specifically, it's going to reach capacity in the near future, within 10 years or something of that nature. So his point is like, we cannot wait as a country and as a society. We cannot wait until we reach the capacity to build out the capacity that we need for that given time. It's important to anticipate, see the trends, see where it's going, and to position ourselves as a country to mitigate against an overflow risk, mitigate against missing opportunities for people coming to Jamaica. And I would also say mitigate against potential chaos. Imagine we don't do this and we have St. Louis International Airport in Montego Bay and it stays the same. We've built it out as much as we can. They extended the airport, but we can't extend the arrivals and departure area anymore because there is no more land to extend to. And imagine we just don't do it and it just becomes this huge bottleneck. And people who come to Jamaica, they just hate it because they're just waiting at the airport in line for hours and hours just to get through customs and immigration. And these are very important, delicate processes that you have to go through. It's not something that you want to rush people through. You want the right people coming in. You want to make sure you track everybody, but definitely keep track of certain people. And you want that process and the integrity of that process to be maintained and not to be rushed and pushed through because we're having capacity issues. And so I didn't realize, based on Mr. Bryson's presentation, how important this is. So I looked at the St. Louis International Airport, the runway expansion, which is amazing. We're able to get larger aircrafts coming into Jamaica. But where the problem lies is the bottleneck and the capacity of processing departures and arrivals at the airport. And there isn't, from the presentation, there isn't that much that can be done as far as that expansion. Hence, the idea, and I wouldn't even say idea, the necessity, the need for the Negril International Airport. Another, I thought, I got to make a short form video on this. I think this is so important for the country and everybody to understand. And we in Negril, we knew this. We knew that the statistic that I'm about to say right now, we knew this from a long time. And according to what he's saying and the data that he has, and he substantiates those numbers and how he got them, and it's the most accurate data that there is in regards to where people go when they land in Jamaica, and specifically St. Louis International Airport in Montego Bay. And he states that 43% of everybody who lands in Montego Bay comes to Negril. Their final destination is Negril. And that is a crazy, crazy, astonishing statistic. For me to hear that, I remember, I was in the room and I remember looking at Mrs. Bradley, the president of the Negril Chamber of Commerce. I'm like, this is crazy. This is crazy. And it kind of goes back to this underlying theme of just how, and I'm very passionate about this, just how much Negril contributes to Jamaica and to tourism in a disproportionate way, juxtaposed to what we receive back in respect to investment in anything, public sector investment, specifically our roads, our streets, the lights, just the state of the town. And we bring in and we attract a disproportionate amount of people coming into the country, yet we get very, very little. And that is just the reality of the situation. That is just facts. And when you just look at the sheer dollars, and I always say this, I'm not asking to match dollar for dollar with, hey, what is invested and spent in Montego Bay, Ocho Rios, in Negril. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying it needs and should be a lot more equitable because we are bringing in so much, but we get so little. And I was going to do this exercise at some point of just, and it's kind of can easily be done of and I don't know if these numbers are readily available, but just how much it costs to run Negril, if you know what I mean, and what is being given to us, so to speak, on an annual basis. And when you look at what is done for Negril on an annual basis in dollar terms, it is so minuscule. We get the bare minimum. Our roads were recently patched. The only reason why Norman Manley Boulevard is being patched now, and everybody knows, is because it's the beginning of December. And whether you know it or not, next week is Reggae Marathon. And that is the only reason our roads are being patched. And it's so sad. It is so sad and incredible that because outside people are coming to Negril for this race is the only reason why we have a patching program going on right now. Not because people are chopping their tires, not because it's been terrible the entire year. It's because we don't want a runner, tourist, where the local are or whatever, are foreign, to sprain or twist their ankle, which has happened many times in the past on this race. And thank you for the reggae marathon for sure, but that shouldn't be the impetus to patch and fix our roads. There should be a program in place. Again, especially based on the disproportionate amount of revenue and bodies that we are attracting to the island. And think about it. 43% of everybody who lands in Montego Bay comes to Negril. That's crazy. Most people who are landing in Montego Bay are either going to Ocho Rios or they're staying in Montego Bay. For the most part, you would think in my mind. But to say almost half the people who are landing in Montego Bay are coming to Negril, come on. Our town should look a lot better than it does. We should have water regularly on the West End for residents, and it continues to be a challenge. And I know it sounds like I'm complaining and everything like that, but I am because it's just, when I heard that, it was just like, I just shook my head and just like real disappointment. And it just kind of just substantiates something again that Negril people knew and have known for a long time. I remember, and I'm going to move on after this. I remember in a Negril Chamber of Commerce meeting, this must have been close to 10 years ago, and Mr. Issa, who is owner of the couples group, and he was telling me, like, Negril is the best destination of all his properties. He's like, you don't even need to sell Negril. Negril doesn't need to be sold. It's the easiest one out of all his properties to get people to come to. Yet we don't support the resource. We don't support the golden goose. And it just continues to be that's the same story many, 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 many years later. I could point to like the handful of things that we've received in Negril, which we're very, very happy about for sure and appreciative of, but it shouldn't be a situation like you take what you get kind of thing. But when you look at what we're contributing to the national coffers, where we're contributing to tourism, it's just simply unfair. And so I always point to the shared user path across the street from on the beach, which is great. It's about 2.5 miles, I want to say. However, the project itself is not done. It's supposed to go all the way up to Rio. I always say this. This is something that we need to push for. I think it's just so important for just the maneuverability of Negril, of people being able to walk, ride their bike on a path, and enjoy Negril to the fullest. Again, this has been earmarked, and I know this for a fact because I was very much involved when this was initially implemented. Yes, we also got, I think was very, very important as well, the rudders in the road, which slows down traffic, 4 traffic lights. And this is over 10 years or maybe more. And then recently we got the Negril sign, which is awesome and great, but it's just so much more we need. And water being one of them. And that's what I'm really advocating for, is just basic fundamental infrastructure investment in a town that is, again, I think, doing so much for the country and doing so much for the nation. Anyway, long rant. But let's continue to talk a little bit about the airport situation. So another reason, I'm getting really hot. I gotta turn the AC on or up. Just kind of going in. I'm gonna put on a quick. Can I put on a quick commercial? Do I have one? Let's see. No, I'll get to that in a second. Another aspect of the airport as to why Negril needs this airport is kind of going back to, again, 43% of the people flying into Montego Bay come to Negril anyway. And if we can redirect all of that, like a lot of that, to Negril, that's going to free up Montego Bay, Sanctions International Airport, for more arrivals to come there and for people to flow through easily, and people just fly directly to Negril. Much, much easier and just more convenient. Imagine being 15, 20 minutes away from your hotel, from your Airbnb, whatever have you, and you just come in, throw your bags down, and you're on the beach. I mean, amazing, amazing um future to think about. And I think, and I didn't really know before this presentation like how necessary, excuse me, the Negril International Airport is. And then also the, you look at what an airport is going to do for a community. And as Mr. Bryson said, it's going to spur development. I mean, housing is going to be needed. He said it's airport's going to bring thousands of jobs. You got the people on the tarmac filling the airplanes, airplane hangars. I don't know if we're going to have a repair situation, airplane repair situation going on. You got flight attendants, you got pilots, and all these folks, especially the transient workers, they're going to need somewhere to stay. And it's going to be so good for so many hotels, and it's going to spur commercial development as well. Like I said, people are going to need a place to live. I think those people who get in now are getting early because, again, this is not a speculative project. This is something that is proved and is necessary. And as the presentation stated, a location for the airport has been chosen, which is really, really, really fantastic. And I think they chose a really great. Hey, why am I like talking like this? I have the presentation myself. I can do this. All right, we can bring it up. I didn't mean to be talking about the airport. I want to talk about more broadly Throp X. All right, you know what? I'm gonna hold on. Give me 1 second. I got to turn this AC up. We'll look at my friend's house real quick, I think. What's going on, Throppers? Recently I had a chance to visit the 4Z's residential villa in Negril. And although I can't show y'all everything, I wanted to give you a quick sneak peek into what this home looks like. So firstly, the landscaping. Absolutely beautiful with fruit trees, coconut trees, ackee trees. Going inside, there's a 10-foot pivot door that welcomes you into a very wide open kitchen and living room. There are 4 bedrooms with en-suite bathrooms. The interior doors as well, 10 feet tall. Never seen it before in my life. We're talking high ceilings, open kitchen, skylight, floating steps, full live-in helpers quarters, and the master suite takes up the entire width of the building. I'm super, super excited about this and really happy that I got to show you this. We need more of this in Negril. All right, cool. We visited the house. That's my friend's house. During the real estate tour for Throp X, and we could talk about that as well. But anyway, back to the airport situation. I got the presentation here. I don't want to spend an incredible amount of time on this. I want to just show just some quick aspects of it. And like I said, if you want a copy of this presentation, I'd be more than happy to send it over to you. Let me see if I could just send you the link instead of sending you to the video. 1 second here. Here we go. There you go. That's a link to the Google Forms, and yeah, fill it out, and I will shoot you over the presentation that I have here. So, like I said, I don't want to spend a ton of time on this. I just want to show you some key things that I was talking about. Okay, we got 29 slides here, and so hold on 1 sec. All right, so this is the site that was chosen. This is in Little London, and let me see if I can. And one of the strategic strategic decisions in choosing this location was the ability to expand the runway, excuse me. So, and I thought I think that's very, very important because we got to think generations down the road in terms of what this could potentially turn into, and think about, like, we don't know how big the future aircrafts are going to be, right? And we want to be able to put ourselves in a position to accommodate whatever size those aircrafts are, and to not limit ourselves by like a mountain range or a river or something like that. And I thought that this was very, very, very important and smart. And so, as it states here, it's 22-minute drive from Negril. Consists primarily of large government-owned sugarcane lands on long-term leases, primarily to SCJ Holdings. Favorable expansion capacity. No impacts to wetlands. No impacts to cultural/historical sites. While the lands are not immediately needed, recommendations for relocation of Little London High School and Masrimri Flats, part of NHT housing scheme. Okay, so I see, I don't know if you can see my mouse, but it's like you're talking about here, this housing scheme here, and Little London, because the runway is going to expand to the left of the screen where you see this number 9. That's where the expansion, they want to do the expansion. So obviously, they're going to need to move these two structures, which I think could be a good thing. Get a brand new Little London High School. I think that's fantastic. I think that's amazing. If that is that's what's going to have to happen if they're going to be doing some sort of expansion there. Another slide. Facilities on both sides of the runway terminal placed to expand eastward to ensure operational elegance during future expansion phase. FBO/general aviation facilities located north of runway to create separate aerodrome entrance for private users. Full-length parallel taxiways on both sides of the runway. And so I have no doubt like this is going to be a state-of-the-art facility, and why wouldn't it be? And we are preparing for the future, and we are preparing and putting ourselves in a position for the potential expansion of Jamaican tourism. And I think that's very, very important. And we want to also continue to be just top of the totem pole, or if we're not there, near there, in respect to tourism globally, not just in the region. And I think having an airport, a modern airport, a new airport, is a great way to do that. And I always mention and compare us to Tulum and them getting a new airport. And I was there last year, October, and it was a 2-hour drive from Cancun, much like how it is here in Negril, but they have great highways to go to and from. But it was a 2-hour solid drive. But now that drive is no longer necessarily the only option. Now you can fly directly into Tulum Airport, and I believe it's 15 minutes away from your hotel or from the beach, which I think is great. And these are the sort of competitive, what would I say, competitive amenities that are necessary to compete in the modern travel world. And I think it's important that we continue to stay on the forefront of these things. And who knows what the next thing is going to be in 10 years from now. And although an exact specific timeline wasn't necessarily set. You know, he didn't say 2030, this thing is going to be up and ready, you know, but the approval process is well advanced. It's going, I think he said March, it's ready for submission. They're doing more stakeholder consultations, and they're refining the proposal, but they're going to be submitting it in March, which I think is great. And there are aspects of it that went out for consultation and tender, which I think, again, is great that we're pushing this along. So I think it's great that he shared like all these numbers and really gave us a good understanding, or at least for me, I had a much better understanding going into this presentation afterwards of why they're doing this airport, and can really and am really able to speak to it. Let's get to some comments here just so we can get this a little bit more engaging, and perhaps we can move on. Shauna, 32 months, channel member. Thank you so much. Thank you. Shauna says, happy Sunday, Throp and beautiful Throppers. Throp X was amazing. You and the team outdid yourselves this time. I hope that you are somewhat recovered. Somewhat recovered. It's been a week. Oh man, I tell you, this I knew after Throp X, like there was going to be a lot of closing of the loops, if you will, and it was a lot, and still not everything completed, but we're getting there. Jamaica says, Throp, I believe a lot of the issues around infrastructural development in the town of Negril is to do with the local government. Those elected people need to be held more accountable for the operation. Agreed. And I think a lot of what happens in Jamaica, both private and public sector, is because it's essentially accepted. Like so many things are just accepted. I saw somebody quickly mentioned ATMs. I saw a post, and I don't know if this is what you were referring to, or if that person was. I saw a post on, I think it was Capital of Casual. It basically said like the majority of the ATMs, this was last week, the majority of the ATMs in Negril had no money. That's crazy. Completely unacceptable. And I know people were talking about, oh, how do they expect tourists to spend money if they can't go to the ATM? Agreed. But what about the people who are hotel workers who get the direct bank deposit? They can't go there to get cash. Like that's ridiculous. Like it's there's no excuse. There is no excuse why the majority of ATMs in a town like Negril that does so much, that brings in so many tourists and so much money, that we don't have money in our ATMs. Absolutely ridiculous, absolutely unacceptable. Just crazy. Like that would never, like in some of these banks, they have branches around the world. And in other countries, that would never happen. In first world countries, these banks would never allow their ATMs to run out of money. And why is that acceptable here? And it's because of us. It's because we accept it. That's what it is. Honestly, that's what the conclusion that I have come to is that there are so many things about this society. And I used to have this mindset like, oh, we're a third world country, we're up and coming. But when you look at it, the simplicity of making a shift here and shift there to give a better service and to move the country along a little bit faster and a little bit quicker, it just comes down to somebody making a decision, saying within those organizations, saying this is no longer acceptable. We want to give a high level, high quality service to all of our customers. And we're going to do that by X, Y, and Z, and making sure that they're in and out of our banking institutions to get their business done so they can move on with their day and do more business in the country. And I always say, like, don't look at just like the one person, right? The one person who's going there for that. I believe certain transactions, they should be able to be in and out, and you should be able to be in a bank in half an hour max, right? But instead, it takes that person 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes to get their banking business done. And let's extrapolate that out to hundreds. Let's extrapolate that out to thousands and thousands of people. How many man hours, if you will, are just sitting in a bank, are sitting down waiting unnecessarily, and that person is being less productive, that person is unable to contribute to society in whatever way. That could be picking up their kid from school, that could be doing homework with their kid, that could be going to the market to buy fruits, that could be going to the pharmacy to get medicine. All these things, you're slowing down commerce, you're slowing down business, or maybe even completely cutting it off because they're in the bank so long and they just have to get to the store before a certain time and they can't. And I hate to harp on the bank, but it's just one of just many instances and one of many, I would say, regular, normal experiences that people have. And again, I believe it just comes down to people accepting it. And I have a lot of thoughts on this, and the bank is just probably the easiest because it's just the most relatable, but it's not just the bank. It's just everything. And not everything, but it's a lot of aspects of society. It's a lot of aspects of doing business here. And I would say it's not to try to discourage you or anything like that, but hopefully at some point in time, there can be some meaningful discussions with private institutions, public institutions to really move these things along. And Jamaica, you just kind of just put that in my head as far as like the infrastructure and why things the way they are. Like I understand like it's a bureaucratic process, but nonetheless, like it shouldn't get to a fever pitch. Like for example, the West End Road, it's beautiful right now, and that road has been diminishing for so long. When we when we got it fixed, when it was literally falling in the sea. You know what I'm saying? Like this is what happens, and I just don't understand like why can't we just be more proactive on these things? But to me, in order to do so, like we have to talk about it. We have to continue to bring it to the forefront. And again, not accept certain elements of this and of just the way society runs, if you will. All right, let's keep rolling here. Jay Fitz, what's going on? Says, hi, Throp and family listening from Atlanta. I thoroughly enjoyed the conference once again. Job well done. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to have both you and your wife. And congratulations on your recent land acquisition. We won't go into those details, but another great Throp X story, I would say there. Copeland Russell says, why can't we do the airport and the road at the same time? Is it the money? No. So let me see if I could find this real quick. I want to go over the financing, how this thing is financed. 1 second here, guys. Let me put it up on the screen. So the airport, and I think this is also very, very important, is to get an understanding of how this airport is being financed, and it is not through tax dollars. Let me just try and find the slide. I think it's on the slide. Oh yeah, here we go. So this is the financial impacts. Oh no, it might not be on the slides. But anyway, he mentioned it, right? So how the airport is being financed is basically the project itself is being tendered to international entities, and basically it's done through public-private partnership. The international entity will take on the financial responsibility and the operational responsibility of the airport itself. They'll build it, they'll operate it, and then they'll pay a percentage of the gross revenue of the airport to the government. And that's how the government in Jamaica gets its money from the airport. So I think, and also, mind you, Mr. Bryson, had mentioned that this is a model that was invented and created right here in Jamaica. So a few of our airports are done under the same type of financing, and many countries have come to Jamaica to learn about this financing model so they can apply it to maybe their airports or their public-private sector projects that they have going on in their country. And I think this is a smart, very brilliant way of financing something that is so necessary. So it's two separate things. And this is more so my point when I hear people say, hey, we need roads instead of the airport. The road money, the airport money, two completely separate books, separate things completely. And it's important that people understand that. And so, again, this is being financed outside of Jamaica. It's not coming from taxpayer money, or at least a large portion of it. The roads, on the other hand, that is Jamaica, that is us, that is local government, that is us. Hey, we need our roads. And it's something that is starting this month. We're in December now, December 1st. Happy December, everyone. And that is part of the Spark program. The AC keeps turning off. Sorry. That's part of the Spark program. And there are many roads that are going to be fixed, refurbished, redone, created in Jamaica over a period of I don't know how long the time period is, but over a decent period. And so that is starting this month. But it's something, again, like I said, we something we have to advocate for. So this is definitely not a or situation. This is an and situation. We want the airport and good roads. And that's your bottom dollar. Like, the airport is going to ensure we have good roads. We have to have good roads coming to and from the airport. Look at the resilient corridor in Montego Bay. So for those who don't know what the resilient corridor is, let me see if I could look it up real quick. Beautiful road. I thought this was really, really great job by the government in doing this. So, okay, we got the map up here, and let's hop over to Montego Bay. And so here's the Sangsters International Airport. And this road right here is essentially the resilient corridor. And this road is, and I don't know what material that they use, but I think that for however long it's been there, it's really, really, really held up really well, like going all the way. This is a resilient corridor. And then it's very, very well lit, beautifully well lit all the way down, lots of LED street lights going all the way down. And we would have to have something like that. This resilient corridor does not extend over here. Unfortunately, like when you start coming to the west, I mean, you got, the Thanoses of potholes all the way to Negril. Sadly, unfortunately, my friend drove from she drive from Saint Anne. Yeah, she was in Saint Anne, and she popped two tires like right outside of Negril. And yeah, that road is just terrible. It just really is. It is what it is. Nonetheless, my point is like we would it would necessitate a resilient corridor-esque road setup coming to Negril and all the surrounding areas. Again, it's just the airport that is a huge economic driver for any region. All right, let's keep rolling here. What's going on, Norma? Good to see you. Norma says, good afternoon, everyone. Throp X was everything. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Mosaic Travels, peace and blessings, Throppers. Hey, Shaunash, Chris, Joe. The conference was amazing and so much information. Already looking forward to next year. And thank you for volunteering. Much, much appreciated. Thank you to all my volunteers. I saw Chris in here somewhere. There we go. Chris Charles, please click likes. It really, 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 really does help. Let's see a couple of more comments. Metro Atlanta Real Estate Mortgage Insights. Greetings, Throp and Throppers. Thanks for hopping on. Chris says, Throp X was awesome. See you next time. No way I can thank you, Throp. Big up, Throppers from Strong Island. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for volunteering. So nice having you. So nice having all the volunteers. And we are getting bigger and better. Claudine says the Negril Airport will help Jamaican tourism industry compete globally. Time is money, and travel time to destination is a huge consideration when choosing one of so many travel destinations to pick from. Absolutely, absolutely. And as Mr. Bryson said, it's just like based on the surveys that he was receiving, is that one of the main reasons that people don't want to come back to Jamaica is because they spend too much time in their vehicles. And it would be one thing if it was a nice, smooth, picturesque ride from Montego Bay to the grill, but it's just not. It's just not, unfortunately. But it's well worth it, to a lot of people, to 43% of the people who land in Jamaica, excuse me. It's worth that drive because honestly, I believe Negril is so special, and it is special to many people who come here to visit. All right. Sherry K says, lack of customer service is a big issue, and if you show your dissatisfaction, the service gets worse. It boils down to a lack of training. That's right. I talk about this all the time. The onus of professionalizing our workforce is no longer, in my opinion, it's not on the formal education system. It's being put on the shoulders of the entrepreneur, the business owner, and companies around Jamaica. And that's just the reality here. And we have to understand that. I think it's very, very important to understand that as business owners and leaders within companies, whether it's corporate Jamaica or whether it's the hospitality, tourism of Jamaica. And this is something that you just have to continuously keep at the forefront of your mind, always be working on and try to push forward. So at least you can try to mitigate as much as possible of having somebody experience not so good service. Streamline Media says, hey, Throp, love the conference. Can't wait for next year, which I know is going to be bigger and better. And keep making and giving us those great content. You got it. We will compete much better globally. Explore the world. Thank you. Thank you all, everyone, for your comments. Throp, this is Simone. I can't wait to watch all the Throp X footage. I got you. What's going on, Suzette? Good to see you. Nice to have you on. Justin D says there was that crater, not a pothole near the Palladium in Lucy. Attire on that one all night. Yeah. Not good. People start naming these potholes. No bueno. No bueno at all. But I believe, I truly believe, as inconvenient and frustrating as these as these potholes are and our roads are, I truly, truly believe that these are short-term problems. And I'm not going to say they're going to go away forever, but I think they will become less of an issue, less of a challenge in the very, very near future. If not, you're going to keep hearing me talk about it and complain about it right here on this platform. All right, let's see. Last comment, and then we're going to go into some two comments. We'll go into some pictures. Justin D says, I remember back in the 90s, it took me all day in Kingston at NCB to open an account. I remember those days. It's much, much better now for sure. KJ Martin says, watch the session on AAJ. I think the airport will really help Westmoreland in general, especially the youth that has been struggling ever since Sugar collapsed. I didn't even think of it like that. Good point, Martin. Appreciate that. All right, I want to move on from the airport and let's move into some Throp X stuff. Let's go, where should we go? Let's go to some articles. Let's go to some articles here. And first, oh man, I gotta shout out our media partners. So first and foremost, the Storyteller Company, which is the PR agency that I worked with last year and this year. And Kezi and your team, oh man, amazing stuff. Did such an awesome job. Shout outs to Loop and Kadeem. Kadeem is from Loop, and he was with us the entire week from the Sunday all the way back to the Saturday, as a matter of fact, covering everything. And we were able to get photos and articles out like right on the spot. That's one thing I really do appreciate about Loop. And I'm going to share these articles. I'm not going to read them. I'm just going to go through them real quick. Just want to share them with you so you all are aware of this. So this one was 7 points for navigating Jamaica's real estate market via Throp X 2024. Shout out to my brother who took these pictures. Winfield, thank you so much. Couldn't do this without him. They just beautiful pictures, which we're going to go through some of them shortly. So that is that. I'll leave that there. Another article here, if I can get to it. This is from our.today. I'm going to throw that in the comment section there. And 50 potential investors arrive for Throp X investment conference. And this is the welcome dinner. This was done on our pool deck here at Travelers. And it just goes into, I haven't read most of these, unfortunately. I just haven't had the time. But that's Lori right there with Candice, my right-hand person. Candice could not do any of this without her. Man, she really has been really stepping up since day one. It started out just me and Candice, and now we've grown the team. I don't even understand how we did Throp X the first year. Literally just me and her. Stressful times. Unfortunately, I wasn't here for this picture. I was in the conference room setting up for the next day. So this is like such an awesome picture. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. This is everybody throwing up the X. This is after the dinner, which is awesome. I just want to shout out also the Del Pratt family on the left-hand side. They were speakers. We're going to get into some of these pictures as well. If you don't follow them, great follow on YouTube. And now they're heavily into real estate as well. Let's see. Next article, we got New Negril International Airport coming to Little London. And I'm going to put that up here. And this is basically what we've just been talking about for the last however long. And then the next article is Throp X Jamaica Investment Conference conquers Negril. This is by Loop Jamaica, Jamaica's premier real estate forum poised to drive greater investment opportunities. And yes, we are driving opportunities for sure. This is great. This is another article on the airport. And then I guess we could watch some of these. Let's watch. These are a bunch of articles. It's a lot. Which one is this? All right, let's watch. Oh, this is the same thing. All right, let's do this one.
Good evening and welcome to the Business Day.
Sorry, can everybody hear? Let me know if you can or can't.
I'm Anthony Lug. Some expats in Jamaica are urging the government to roll out a digital nomad visa that could position the country as a global hub for remote work, creativity, and innovation. Concerns about the absence of the travel document were raised at the Throp X investment conference held at the Travelers Hotel in Negril. Sandy Williams reports.
Turquoise water lapping against the white sandy beach, reggae rhythms filling the air, and the scent of jerk chicken wafting from nearby food stalls, all while on a Zoom meeting with clients halfway around the globe. For many expats, this dream scenario is a daily reality in Jamaica. But they say one thing is missing: a digital nomad visa. Now, this permits foreigners who work remotely while traveling and living in various locations using laptops and internet connection to carry out their work responsibilities from anywhere in the world. So, as the trend of remote work grows, expats in Jamaica are urging the government to roll out a digital nomad visa to cater to the rising tide of professionals seeking a mix of productivity and paradise.
You could turn that camera around at what I'm looking at. Who wouldn't want to work here? Okay, so I want to see Jamaica get the infrastructure in place it needs for the digital nomads to be able to have reliable internet or whatever it is they exactly require, bandwidths or whatever, security. I'm not a techie person, so I don't know. And be able to, like Barbados, for example, offer a digital nomad visa. This would be a new category of visa that would give them 6 months or more to work here and earn an income here with reliable services. And I would really love to see Jamaica dip into that market.
Digital nomads are drawn to Jamaica's natural beauty, vibrant culture, and welcoming people. But without a tailored visa, many feel their stay is hampered by outdated policies that do not accommodate their modern lifestyle.
Presently, most digital nomads work remotely under a tourist visa, which limits their stay to 6 months or less. Marilyn Williams is an expat. She believes that a dedicated digital nomad visa, like those offered by countries like Barbados and Costa Rica, could open up new opportunities for both remote workers and Jamaica's economy.
While they're here, they have to rent somewhere to stay. They're going out on their off hours and going out to participate in activities and patronize restaurants and go on excursions on their off days. And it's a little bit more than just a casual tourist. It's a dedicated income. Also, this is just a theory on my part. But once you get here and you fall in love with Jamaica like I have, then you could possibly want to invest, stay longer, and maybe even open a business.
As calls for the visa grow louder, the question remains, will Jamaica seize this golden opportunity to marry its rich heritage with a high-tech future? If the voices of experts are any indication, the island is ready to welcome a new wave of global citizens looking to live, work, and thrive in paradise. Sandy Williams, TVJ News.
Petrol prices are going down.
All right. That was great. Thank you again to the press professionals and definitely TVJ as well. We're pretty much on the news every single night the week of Throp X, which is amazing. And I'm just so happy to share just all the great or a lot of the great information that was at Throp X with the public, because the people who come to this conference are just top tier. The panelists, yes, of course, are just top tier, but also the attendees are just really just high character individuals, and it makes just for amazing networking. So that's that. And then so just to comment on digital nomad visa, I think that would be amazing. But it's also, I don't know if we have a video on this, but it also kind of falls in the cautious zone of Airbnb, right? And with the digital nomad visa, I think it has so much potential to bring in just a lot of dollars flowing into the country and flowing into the local community. And then also even the presence of these digital nomads, I think it just, what I would say, just their experience, their professionalism, I think it has like an effect on the people in the community around them. The same thing I say with expats who, not expats, with return residents of the Jamaican diaspora who are coming back and moving to Jamaica. The impact that you have on your community, on your neighbor, you have no idea. You have no idea. And I think the same thing with digital nomads. And you can have different ideas, spur off good networking, high quality individuals as well. But we want to give them the legal space to be able to do that, and doing that through a digital visa, nomad visa, I think is a great way to do it. On the other side of the coin, you have housing, right? And I can speak directly to Negril, and specifically about Negril, is I don't think we necessarily have the housing to accommodate those caliber of people. Hear me out. You look at, and then also the amenities as well. At least at scale. I think people come here and they're able to find their lane very easily in Negril, and they're able to find their accommodations that suit them. But I don't think if we had this influx of people coming here with digital nomad visas, I don't think we have the housing for them. I really don't, at least not at the level that they would be expecting, right? And so going back to the idea of being competitive, when you look at a Tulum, and like I said, I've experienced it last year for the first time, and you look at their setup and you look at their hotel accommodations, and then you look at also their housing, it is all, for lack of a better term, modern first world housing that they have available, as well as modern amenities in all of these accommodations. And it's important, again, from a competitive standpoint, that we're able to compete on this level, not just for these digital nomads, but also for people who are coming for traditional vacations. And also, I always say, like, I would love more people, Jamaicans, to move from, say, Kingston or Montego Bay to Negril, but we don't have the accommodations that they have, not at scale. There are much better at scale, that is. They have much better accommodations for people who are living long term in a Montego Bay. I'd even say even in a St. Anne, definitely in a Kingston. You just have more variety. You have more modern infrastructure. You have more modern accommodations there, residential accommodations, than you do compared to Negril. And we just don't have it. We really, really, really don't have it. So we're not really satisfying and catering to that market. And not just the digital nomad, not just the traditional traveler vacationer, but even for somebody who's living in Kingston, who's a professional, who's used to, being in a nice gated community with, their stainless steel amenities, their obviously AC, newly contemporarily designed apartments. And we don't have a lot of that in Negril. We don't have a lot of that. And I would say, I would like to think, and I know a lot of these young professionals in Kingston, and I see where they live. Like, these places are very, very nice, and they work very hard and for their money to be able to have accommodations of that nature. And I don't think that this is something that we should shy away from or dumb down from. And here in Negril, and I think it's important that this is something that we push for, and hopefully attract the right developers to really accommodate a lot of this demand. And it is a bit of a chicken and the egg situation. We have the airport coming, we have all this investment coming as far as hotels. We also need housing for our workers here as well. But at some point, somebody is going to have to, a group of people is going to have to do something in order to serve that demographic of people. And I know there's a lot of people, many people, who would like to come and move to Negril, but there aren't enough accommodations. Even now, I dare you, try to find a 3 to 6 month rental starting from December right now, going back to March, April. You're not going to find it. You're just not going to find it. Maybe you'll find a week, a day here and there, but you're just not going to find it, because there is just not enough housing here. I keep saying it, but you can go do your research for yourself. And if you're somebody looking to come here for a month or two or whatever it is during this winter season, good luck, good luck, good luck. And I speak to Margaret Edgar. She's been on the show. She's a licensed realtor, works for Valerie Levy and Associates, and she's here. She knows the market. I'm sure many of you have reached out to her to try to buy something or try to rent something, and she'll tell you right now, it's very hard to find something. You're gonna have to get lucky. You're gonna have to get lucky to get something right now. But it just shows you that this is very much needed in this region. And for those developers who are out there, look into it. Look into it. I think it's a great opportunity, phenomenal opportunity. There are a couple of developments that I hear happening, and I don't want to. I don't know if this is public information, so I don't want to oust where these are going. But there is one, we talked about it. I'm sorry, I forget his name. Mr. Issa's son is doing, I think, a 32 unit here on the Beach Road. There's another one happening on the Beach Road, beach side, 80 units. I know about it, but I don't know if they want to make this a public information, and so I won't say where it is and who's doing it. But I hear that's coming on board. And what I just say, 80, that's 112 units that I just talked about. And we need way more, way more housing. And I know those folks are going to do well. I know they're going to do very, very well. And then I also think when you have more units and you have more inventory, it's also going to bring the prices down. And Negril is expensive. There's no question about it. Negril is very, very expensive because supply and demand, baby. That's what it comes down to. There is just a minuscule amount of supply available, and the demand is just outweighing the supply immensely. And I think with more competition, more inventory, it's going to bring prices down. And I think it's going to allow people and make it more affordable for more people to come here, more families to come here and live here, raise their family, enjoy Negril, enjoy the amenities that we have here. All right. So, my second part of this aspect is talking about Airbnb, right? And so I just talked about digital nomads and the two sides of that coin, and how that, I guess I didn't really get into how it can be. Anyway, I'm losing my train of thought here. So the other side of the coin is the Airbnb aspect, right? So the digital nomad needs somewhere to stay, right? And it would be, I would say, high income digital nomads could probably afford to stay in a hotel, which we do have a lot of digital nomads that stay with us here at Travelers, and they obviously are doing well and they have good jobs and have a good income, and they can stay at a hotel for a month, 2 months, whatever it is, and they can work from here. And thankfully we have the facilities to accommodate them and their work responsibilities. Now, what about maybe somebody who's coming in entry level? Maybe they don't have that 6-figure income and haven't got to that yet, and they can more afford an Airbnb. With that also comes, especially when you start doing this stuff at scale, is you start to disenfranchise, or you could. I'm not saying, I don't necessarily think that's happening yet at this point, but you could start disenfranchising local residents. And we've seen examples of this all around the world. Portugal is one of the poster childs of this. Also, Barcelona is one of the poster childs of this. We talked about this at Throp X this year. And I don't know if you remember the news reports, I think it was like maybe 6 or 8 weeks ago, where tourists were being sprayed with water guns. I believe it was Barcelona, but somewhere in Spain, with water guns, because they don't want tourists there anymore, because it has completely wrecked the local economy, making things so exorbitantly expensive, and it doesn't really match with their incomes. And what's happening, or what had happened with that, is that landlords were spiking up their monthly rents because they were making so much money renting to digital nomads, Airbnb guests, as opposed to locals. And so that disenfranchised the locals, where they were being pushed more and more outside of these townships, and the prices kept going up and up and up, and they were sick of it, And this is something that I think is important for us to think about here in Jamaica as we go through. I'm just going to use the word renaissance, but it's almost as if we maybe we're not necessarily in the Renaissance, but if we're not in it, we're moving towards it, which is like all these things happening, investments, the airport, hotels, casinos, hospitals, roads. Like it's crazy the amount of things that are happening throughout Jamaica, and it's not unique to one specific industry or one specific region. It is like literally like all over, and it's just great to see. However, as we move into this renaissance, if you will, and we start making decisions on who and what we want to attract here, it's important to learn the lessons from other states, regions, cities around the world and say to ourselves, like, we don't want that to happen to us. We don't want that to happen to our residents, and put certain elements in place to ensure that our local people do not get disenfranchised by these decisions, by greed, by opportunities. And it's something that I'm going to continue to talk about and make sure that we are always keeping this at the forefront of our minds. And this is me, somebody who hosts an investment conference that heavily sits on housing and investing in developments, right? And so it's something that I am conscious of and I want to always be aware of and make sure my community here is aware of as we move forward. And of course, I want you all to do the best for you and your families, but at the same time, I think it's important that we think about how we do these things. And maybe this is more of a question statement for the powers that be, the government. And at some point, there has to be some regulation that comes in place. We talked a little bit about the taxation or the potential taxation of Airbnb here in Jamaica. And I don't think anybody really, there were some people who had a problem with it. I don't have a problem with taxing Airbnb. Like, I have no problem with that at all. I think we should. I really, really do think Airbnb should be taxed. It absolutely should be taxed. I mean, it could be just a great revenue stream for the government, and it wouldn't be taxed directly from the government. It would be, at least this is the way that I imagine it happening, where when you're paying for an Airbnb, you are taxed, you have the local tax, Airbnb collects that, and then it pays it to the Jamaican government. I think it's a beautiful relationship. And it doesn't have to be like 16.5% GCT. It doesn't have to be that. It could, even if it's just like we started at like 5 or 7%. I think it's amazing. Airbnb host, the fee that they are charged from Airbnb to be on their platform is 3%. And speaking from a hotelier's perspective, with our online travel agent partners, these are like the Expedia.coms of the world, hotels.com of the world, Orbitz, all these online travel agents. Depending on where you are, like, these fees could be up to 30%. 30%. So this is 30% of top line revenue of anything that you make is potentially going right to these platforms. And you compare that to Airbnb, which is only 3%, and Travelers is on Airbnb. It's a no-brainer, and it's a beautiful thing. And this is why it works so well. And this is why, for anybody who has a home locally, wherever it is in the hills, it doesn't matter. People stay in Airbnbs wherever. Like, I've told the story about, I've met some friends who were staying in Whitehall here in Negril. Whitehall is not the best neighborhood, I tell you that right now. And I was like, what are you guys doing staying there? 2 white girls. Like, I was like, you guys have no business there. But they were adventurous. Nothing happened. Everything was fine. And it's also one of those things. I remember Dr. Kerry Wallace speaking about this at the farewell dinner last year when he's giving the keynote speech. And one of the things that Airbnb does, it invites people into the formalized economy. It invites people into tourism, and they themselves become part of the tourism ecosystem. And now that they're earning their dollars from tourism, they're going to do whatever they can to protect it. And so now, even though White House is not the best neighborhood, and you having tourists come from all over the world staying in not the best neighborhood, that community is going to protect those people, because the next person and the next neighbor who has a couch or who has an extra house or an extra room that also rents to tourists and also rents via Airbnb, they know that if something happens or they have a bad experience, whatever it may be, regardless if it's not in the best neighborhood in the world, that they could be jeopardizing their own income. They could be jeopardizing their own well-being, their own financial well-being. So again, that community is going to protect those people visiting, is going to protect that industry. And that's the power of Airbnb. It really is inviting people into the formalized economy, and they now are fully part of the Jamaican tourism product. So it's a good thing. But again, something that we need to be careful of as we develop and as we build out into this modern tourism society and as we try to continue to compete globally. All right, let's get to some comments here. McKay Faye, so great. Thank you. Thank you, cuz. Yo, Adam says the network advancements will also help with the communications, allowing tourism from more places around the world. Joe says, Throp, I would like to provide some input concerning the conference to you and your team. Where can I send that? Joe, you can send it to throp@thropmedia.com. We're also going to be sending out a survey this week, so you can wait for that or you can shoot me an email. Either way. Buffalo Soldier, good to see you. That news clip was awesome. Love it. Nice to have met you in person. So cool to put names to faces here. At least use your names to faces. 80s hair. We met at the Pinnacle. Nice to see you. 80s hair says a golden visa is worth considering. Citizenship by investment. That's a good idea too. Let's see. Justin D says someone's sending me some bad information from the front desk. I may be reading that out of context there. UL says, excuse me, as the internet advances, more groups of people are going to be wanting to come to Jamaica for short and long term periods of time, business and pleasure. Absolutely. Jamaica says, the airport will be the greatest catalyst for developments in the West. Roads, highway, jobs, housing, internet, Wi-Fi, plus developments of existing roads, not to mention all the new enterprises. Without question. I hope people are able to see that. Obi-Wan says Jamaica will become just like Brazil, 1% rich, and the indigenous Jamaicans dirt poor. I don't think so. I really don't think so. That is, I would say, up to us, and it would be us, the people, that would allow this to happen, and we don't want that. We don't want that to happen. It's just like, what's the point? What's the point if only a small percentage of Jamaica are able to see, feel, and reap the benefits of this great trajectory that we find ourselves on? And the Prime Minister speaks to that a lot. And I think all of our leadership to be not only speak to it, but act on it. And that would be like to me, that would be one of the worst outcomes that could come of the Jamaican Renaissance that we find ourselves in, is that only a small percentage of people benefit. It would disgust me to all ends. And I would like to think I'm doing everything I can not to allow that to happen. And this is what this community is about. Like, so many aspects of this community is built on not having that happen. So I don't believe this is going to happen. I will always speak out against anything like this of inequitabilities happening in the development of Jamaica. And I think a big part of avoiding a potential future of that nature is really education. And I really do hope the next phase of investment talk, the next phase of what's going to happen in Jamaica is purely, or at least in a disproportionate way, focus on investing in education. UL says visa can be based on longer term investments. Jamaica starting to produce housing at a new scale, moving into kit style, speeding up production, not just for nomads, but Jamaicans with jobs. Aaliyah says, great business opportunities. I think so as well. 80 said rents are high in Kingston and Mo Bay. What kind of employment do you need to have to afford those rents? I agree. I'm like, man, who got these jobs that's affording these rents. Some of the rents in Kingston are straight New York City prices, straight up. I'm like, this is crazy, 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 crazy. So, but I guess people are renting them. I mean, I guess they're that price for a reason, I'm assuming. But I also understand, and maybe some Kingston realtors can speak to this, that a lot of the inventory in Kingston remains dormant. I don't know if this is true, but I've heard this from several people, and I'm not sure what they're holding out on. Some people told me that there is an exact opposite of Negril, where they have too much inventory and not enough demand, and or at least maybe, from what I'm understanding, that the prices may be too high for the market. Somebody can, it's one of these things like, hey man, do I do like an investigation in Kingston and try to figure this out? I don't know, but good point. Good point. Obi-Wan says the prices are ridiculous and you get no land. If I'm going to be in the Caribbean place, I need trees and land to grow stuff. I might be reading your comments out of context there, Obi-Wan. The thing about Jamaica, and you can do your own research and figure this out for yourself, don't take my word for it, is that when you compare us to other Caribbean islands, our land is completely undervalued, especially beachfront properties. Completely undervalued. Look at Turks and Caicos, for example. And honestly, from a topographical standpoint, they do not have much to offer. The beach, the water, gorgeous, beautiful. They got no rivers, no mountains, no culture, nothing, like, at least compared to Jamaica. Obviously, I'm super, super biased. But their beachfront properties, I mean, 20 million, 10 million, 15 million. Great. And I'm talking about bare land. In here, you can get a hotel for 3 million, 4 million on the beach in Negril. And you eat Barbados, maybe not as drastic, but the same thing. Go look at land in Barbados. Go look at land in Turks and Caicos. Compare it to Jamaica. Jamaica's land is highly, highly undervalued. And it's a fact. I stand to be corrected. Show me something different. Look it up yourself. You can see that. Highly undervalued. Mr. Info, hello, Throp. Is there anywhere else outside of Negril and Westmoreland that persons can find a safe, decent place to live? Yeah, absolutely. All over the island. All of the island. One of the hottest places in Jamaica right now is on the north coast, Drax Hall area. That is like red hot. Montego Bay, same thing, red hot. As these things there's so many. Oh, you want in Westmoreland? Sorry, I just misread that. Yeah, in Westmoreland. Yeah, so let me dial that back. West Isle is also another good place. I've recommended people there. I know people who bought there based on this platform. This is kind of near the airport, actually, the new airport. Let me see if I can bring this up. All right, so here, this is Negril. This is the 7-mile strip of white sand beach, and we're going to zoom into downtown, and then we're going to move east, and we're going to go to... That's a little London. I think we went too far there. 1 second. Okay, here's West Isle right here. So this is about 15 minutes from Negril. Let's see if I can pull it up. And these homes, this is a gated community. And I do believe they are expanding right now. Let's see if I can do this. Oops, nope. All right, here we go. And so this is a gated community. Let's see what they have here. So they have a 2-bedroom option starting at $203,000 US, and a 3-bedroom is sold out. And this is the setup. This is the layout here. Looks like we got 27 lots. and this is an old picture. I know they're further along than this, but you get an idea. And I believe, don't quote me on it, I believe they are going to be expanding, but this is one of their units. We visited this place in Throp X 2022. But that's one I can recommend. There's another one. Oh my gosh, I forget the name of it. Oh man, I forget the name of it. There's another one that's deeper in Westmoreland. If I remember, I will bring it up. But Mr. Info, if you can ask me again, maybe on another future stream, I will try to. Starts with a C. If anybody remembers or knows of it, please let me know. 80s hair. What would a studio unit rent for in Negril at Point Village? I know a 2-bedroom. I checked out a 2-bedroom. I think it was like 2,500 per month. Studio, you're probably looking at probably about 1,500, I would say, if I were to take a guess. All right, let's keep going here. What are we at? Hour and 16. I want to get to some pictures here shortly, but let's go. Let's keep going with some comments here. Justin D said, "You'll definitely get some arrogant tech bros." Yeah. And the Bitcoin millionaires, right? Them too. All right, let's keep rolling here. Justin D says, "When the money spreads, everyone benefits. It's that simple." Absolutely. Chris Pro says, love the work. Thank you. Appreciate it. Explore the World says, I will be visiting your hotel soon. Awesome. Looking forward to welcoming you and having you here. You all says, locally, the people need certain securities and infrastructure, securing jobs and environment that they can afford. Absolutely. 80 Sarah says, high tides float all boats. All Jamaicans will benefit from the investment pouring into the country. We better make that happen. You know, we got to make that a surety. But Eva says, Throp, how much would it help if Jamaica had an initiative like Doge, where Jamaicans do like Elon and Vivek is going to attempt to reduce bureaucracy and make the government more efficient? I think they're working on that. It's not called Doge, but I remember last year, again, referencing Dr. Kerry Wallace's keynote speech, and he is the executive director of the Tourism Enhancement Fund, the TEF, and he took the time to explain the process it takes that you have to go through in order to approve a project. And it is crazy. It's ridiculous. So basically, they're working on that. They're working on reforming that process so things can move along a lot quicker. And so when that's going to happen, how that's going to happen, I have no idea. But at least it's like they understand that this is important. You all says certain places in Jamaica are creating a real estate bubble, exaggerating the prices of the property. It looks like and other assets. I don't know if that's Kingston. If you're referring to Kingston, I'm not sure. I know I went on that rant a little while ago. Red Stripe for Life says, hey, Throp, the government needs to do two things to improve investments, reform the banking sector, and decrease energy costs. The other plans can be easier to solve when these two are addressed. What do you mean specifically about reforming the banking sector? I'd like to learn more about that, hear what you have to say on that. Jay Fitz says, I agree, Jamaican property is grossly undervalued compared to almost every other country in the Caribbean. Yeah, it's just a fact. You can look it up for yourself. You can look it up and see it. Don't listen to me. Johnny Johnson says Jamaica is getting ridiculous with most of their prices, but you are correct. Smaller CARICOM nations, like places like St. Lucia, only have a population of 100. Is that 18.5 or is that 185,000? 185,000. Sorry, hard for me to see. Yul says foreign investment is always good, but it still has to be regulated because it can go beyond the means of people, making an indebted class over never able to keep up with the real estate costs. Yes, great point. Great point. Karim says, most local Jamaicans is that they are not aggressive economically. The economic pie of the island is expanding and up for grabs, and most locals have no clue, depth, or aggression about grabbing a share. Johnny Johnson says the problem with Jamaican unemployment crime, if you get rid of the crime, there's no place better than Yard. Ah, thank you, Kevin. Carwina Estate. That's exactly what I was looking for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Appreciate it. Man, you guys are freaking awesome. You know what the deal is. I knew I can rely on you all. You guys are so informed. All right, just want to be clear. I'm not promoting, not promoting this, but this I heard about this. I know a couple of people who have invested in it. Oh, I didn't put it up. 1 second, sorry. I invested in it. I don't know if you remember. This is like 2 years ago. I was gonna call them live when I first started doing live streams, but I realized like that's not cool. Like just to put somebody on the spot like that. So I don't know. Quite honestly, I don't know much about this. But this is you can check it out yourself. Let them know Throp sent you if you wanna call them up and find out more information. But let's see, we can explore together. 2-bedroom, twin palm. Let's take a look at this. Queen Estates special pre-construction prices now available. I think that's the thing. We couldn't find the prices of like a few years back. But looks nice. Let's see the 3-bedroom. (1,591 square feet). Trying to find out. Oh, here we go. Here's the map. Oh. Is this it right? Oh, there we go. So it looks like it's. So this is Little London. So what's this? This is essentially where West Isle was, and this is Carwina, and it's outside of Sav. Can we change? I guess we can. Okay. Interesting. Let me see if I can find it on the map. Nope. Carwina Estates. Okay. Is this the right place? Oh, it's up. Okay, yep, got it. Cool, cool, cool. No, this can't be it. This does not look like a development. Or maybe this is it. Maybe this is it here. Oh, let's see. Maybe. But anyway, you get an idea of where it is and what it's about. Looks cool. I threw it in the comment section there. So if you are interested, take a look, give them a call. 10 minutes away from Sav. You know, also what I not even think I know is going to happen is that I think Sav is going to blow up with the airport. And it's gonna, I really think that's gonna turn into like a real city, like a real city. Because now, I mean, you're gonna, from Little London, it's probably, you might be closer. No, are you closer to Negril? Let's call it 20 minutes. Let's call it 25 minutes max from the airport to get to Sav. From a doing business, commerce perspective, great, amazing. Really amazing. And I think too, you know, if you think about it, I mean, it's going to do so much for the South Coast as well. Treasure Beach, White House. Oh man, it's just going to Black River. It's going to open up this whole corridor unlike ever before. Man, I think it's going to be amazing, amazing for the South Coast because you're probably looking at less than an hour. No, maybe not less than an hour. Not to get to Treasure. I'm thinking Treasure Beach. Less than an hour to White House way less than an hour to White House, no question. That's going to open up White House, but Treasure Beach is going to just be so much closer. Yeah, that's going to be amazing for them. I'd be really, really happy for everybody in Treasure Beach with that. All right, let's keep rolling here. Natty says, hi, if you are part of the diaspora, what is the process to buy in Jamaica? How does the system work there? You just buy. Yeah, there's no real restrictions. The main thing is that you need to get a TRN, tax registration number, and that essentially opens you up to the market to do business here, to buy land here. And that essentially is the main thing that you need. There is no, if you're American citizen, Canadian, from a European nation, whatever, it doesn't matter. You can come here and do business. You can come here and buy land. Very, very open and welcoming in that respect. Proud and happy to say that at Throp X this year, we were able to, if you were there on the getting business done or doing business day, I forget what we called it. But anyway, if you came on the Thursday, we had the tax administration of Jamaica that was there, and you filled out forms. They put in the computer, and you got your TRN right there on the spot. And then 10 feet to your left was a table set up by the VM group, and you were then able to open up your bank account right there on the spot, whether it was a savings, a capital investment account, or a checking account. You were able to do that right there on the spot because you need a TRN in order to open up a bank account. And probably one of the proudest moments of doing all of this, like seeing in action people taking the initiative to get in the system, to be a part of Jamaica, to be a part of the growth, the trajectory. Just so amazing, just so amazing. With that, let's get into some pictures here, and I can show you exactly how that setup was. Let's go business day. All right, so this was it. So, VM was our platinum sponsor. They were our banking partner, and it's a beautiful relationship. And like, this is how I kind of sold it to them. It's just one of those things that made so much sense. And they were just really a really fantastic partner to work with this year. And I tried to do this. I wanted to do this from 2020. Was it maybe the first or second? Definitely the second year. I was trying to get a banking partner to come in, and I wanted this. I wanted to see this. And this is like such an amazing picture. People sitting down and opening a bank account right on the spot. And they were so gung-ho about it. And hopefully, oh my gosh, I hope I have a picture. And they had 2 reps there and was nicely set up. AC, professional, set up Mr. Tyndale there, doing his thing. I'm trying to show you, like, there's like a group of, there's chairs behind them, and it was, that's Dean right there opening up his account. Oh my gosh, this is like so awesome. So awesome. Look at that. And people walking away with an account. Just so freaking cool. And this is the tax administration of Jamaica. And yeah, you sat down right there and you were able to get your TRN right on the spot. That's Irija right there. She is one of our volunteers. That's back to the VM desk. Did I go through all these already? Yeah, I think I did. All right, cool. And that was that. I mean, that is just so awesome, and very happy we were able to do that. This is so yeah. Um, yeah, there's no picture. And so one of the awesome things was that when I walked up there to check on it and see how things were going, and this is the thing, like I wasn't sure. Like I was so like I was like, man, I hope I'm not wasting anybody's time. Like I was just like, I hope I'm not wasting the tax administration, the TAJ's time. I hope I'm not wasting VM time because like I didn't really have a. I knew people wanted to get this done, but then I'm like, oh man, are people really going to take a day to do this? And like, how many people is going to be? And then I walk in the room and every seat is taken. Every seat is taken. Everybody's sitting down, waiting patiently for their turn to go up and get their TRN. And you got to understand like how important and also powerful this is. Because if you were to come here, whether it's on your vacation or on your own time, whatever, you'd have to, if you're staying in Negril, you'd have to drive 45 minutes to SAF, go to the tax office, wait in line for God knows for how long. You have no idea how long it's going to be. And you have to wait there, go through the paperwork. That could literally, more than likely, that's pretty much your day gone. And who knows if you don't have, if you're missing a paperwork or you're missing this and that, everybody came prepared, thankfully, for this situation. And so you skip all that, and then you have to drive back 45 minutes back to Negril, and you're probably not going to want to do anything else. That's your day. Now here, right there, your hotel room is just right here, travelers. You just got to walk up some stairs at the conference room. We got the restaurant downstairs if you want to go grab a coffee or you want some muffins or something to eat. You're in comfortable AC. You're amongst your peers. You're with other people at the conference that you're developing relationships with, other cool, dope people who are progressively minded. You're sitting down, chatting it up while you wait for your turn to get your TRN. And you get it right there on the spot. And then after you get that, you go back to your seat, you wait. You got two representatives from the VM group. They're willing to help you out to do whatever type of banking transaction that you wanted to do in respect to opening an account, right? And instead, again, VM's office is in Sav. Don't got to drive to Sav. You just right there in the comfort of your own hotel where the conference is being kept. And you sit there for a few minutes and you go sit down with the rep and you're like, hey, the rep's like, hey, I need your TRN. Here it is. I just got it. Just got it over there. And you get your TRN. You use your TRN to open up your bank account and you're good to go. You're ready to do business right on the spot, ready to do business. And that's exactly the vision that I had for this day. And it worked out beautifully. And I'm so happy that so many people were able to get that done. And now they never have to worry about that again. Never have to worry about that again. So thank you so much to the TAJ. Thank you so much to the VM group for believing in this conference and being part of it and being our platinum sponsor. Really, really, honestly, can't thank you enough. You really served the Throp community and the Throp X community so well. And I know everybody there really appreciated it. You guys are super professional. Setup was absolutely beautiful. And now, like, I know that I held up my end of the bargain, so to speak, and that so many people were able to sign up. And now you have the opportunity to serve these customers and these Throppers for the rest of their lives, right? And they're going to be your customers forever. And I think that's so awesome. And I really do like and appreciate the service that VM offers. And it's like one of those things, and kind of going back to like how this partnership started, is because if anybody had reached out to me even a year ago, 2 years ago, who do I go to for a mortgage? Who do you recommend? I've always pushed VM because I know personally people who've gotten mortgages, who've gotten houses and construction loans from VM. And the service is great. And sometimes, I've other people have experienced I'm not going to name any other banking institutions, but have gone to other banking institutions, and they're the ones who have to continuously follow up. And why isn't the mortgage person getting back to me, and this and that? And I'm not saying VM is perfect. Not at all. But man, the feedback that I have received from people who I've recommended to them, Throppers like yourself, personal friends and family who've done business with them, it's been a positive one overall. And like I said, it was one of those things that was just it's a perfect partnership. And there are just so many more people that's in this community that want to do this very same thing. They want to get their TRN, they want to open up a bank account. My headphones are dying. They want to open up a bank account, and VM, without question, has just been a perfect partner, and we're going to hopefully continue to work with them. But I'm not going to say I'm not going to recommend any other bank, but definitely from the feedback that I've been receiving, they've been the go-to, and they also made a stellar presentation. This is probably going to be the next video that I'm going to share. They made a presentation at Throp X, and they were talking about the different banking solutions that they have to offer. It is really it's crazy the amount of different solutions that they have, and that's probably going to be the next Throp X video that I'm going to release. And I just think it's important, even if like they weren't a partner, but to know that you have these. I'm going to make myself a little bigger here. To know that you have these banking options. They just came out with a credit card as well, which I didn't know. And it is just, I don't even know what to call it. It's just so dynamic, it's big, and you just have many, many options. And they have a lot of solutions that you may be accustomed to wherever that you're from that you may not be aware are available here in Jamaica. And like I said, I'm going to share that with you all very, very shortly, but definitely worth checking them out. And if you check them out, let them know you heard about it here on the Throp channel, and a really great partnership. I know I keep going on and on. Justin, thank you, my man. I appreciate you. As always, keep doing what you're doing with Throp. I will. And I appreciate the encouragement. I appreciate the support. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, let's keep. Shona says, are you going to highlight the car show as well in photos? Yeah, I'm going to hop right back to that. One sec. I will, I promise. Natty says, I was told to have an account, you needed citizenship. No, that's not true. That is not true at all. I'm telling you right now, you need a TRN and you can open your bank. People did that right there on the spot. 80 says, how well does the online Jamaican banking system work from the US to pay bills on your Jamaican property? Does it require 2-stage authentication, which can be tricky with foreign cell phones? Let me see if I understand that question. How well does the online Jamaican banking system work from the US to pay? It works fine. No issues whatsoever. I log into my bank account from my phone very easily. Jamaica is really, really coming along in respect to moving money around. The only thing you just have to be aware of, and it may not necessarily apply to your question here, is that you can't move US within Jamaican bank accounts. So like I'll have my US bank account here, but if I want to transfer my US dollars from, say, myself, my US Jamaican bank account here in Jamaica, to somebody else who has a US bank account here in Jamaica, it has to be done via wire transfer. I don't get it. Even within the same banking institution, I don't get it. And so what you have to do, and maybe this is an encouragement for an exchange. I think it's a crazy hustle, but it is what it is. So if I want to pay somebody who's quoting me in US, a Jamaican company that has a US account in Jamaica, I have to exchange those US dollars into Jamaican dollars and then transfer the Jamaican dollars to that person's bank account. Seems ridiculous to me. Seems absolutely ridiculous to me. I don't know why that is. And somebody mentioned banking reform earlier, and maybe that's something that needs to be reformed. I don't know the thinking behind that. Maybe there's like a macroeconomic reason why that is, but it basically forces you to exchange your foreign currency in order to transfer it amongst different bank accounts. And so I would assume the same thing would be with Canadian dollars, the same thing with pounds and euros as well. I don't know why that is, and I don't know what the justification for that is, but that's also just something to keep in mind. Nothing that really I would say holds me back, but it definitely stops you, hinders you from moving US dollars within Jamaica. Ace here, is there a VM in Montego Bay? I'm almost certain there is. I'm almost certain there is a VM there. I just don't know where. Let's look it up real quick. Yep, there's one in Fairview. There's a bunch. Yeah, you got a bunch of VMs there. So take a look, hit them up. Oh, these are ones in Kingston. All right, you got it. It's there though. Justin says, go talk to someone at the front desk for me though. I will. I don't know what you want me to talk to them about, Justin. Metro Atlanta real estate and mortgage says, Throp, are you speaking of Corwina Estates? That's right. That's right. 80 said, do banks charge for deposits? Banks charge for everything. I would say if we're talking about banking reform, this is something that we need to talk about as well. They charge for everything up and down. So I don't know. I don't know about specifically for deposits, but like there's a lot of things that they charge for. So they're very, very, very small fees, but just something to be aware of. Like literally like pennies, but something to be aware of. Joe says, Throp, I'm telling you, that was a big thumbs up. Awesome, awesome. Happy to hear you took advantage of that. Okay, let's hop over to, oh yeah, back to the pictures. Okay. All right, let's go through the car show pictures. And so you might be aware, we got, this is all my pictures from my brother took, which I appreciate him. So we did a collaboration partnership with ATL Automotive, and this was an electric car show. And we are pushing we're pushing electric vehicles, electric hybrid vehicles, and lowering carbon emissions. And that was part of the airport presentation. And I thought it was just, I don't know, pertinent to, like, as we move forward and as Jamaica develops, we want to do so in a sustainable way as possible. And you know, many of you who are considering moving here or have made their decision to move here, eventually you'll need a vehicle. And I thought it was important to have a good partner in the automobile industry, and ATL Automotive is the best in my opinion. And I think pushing hybrid vehicles is the way to go, in my opinion. And I think that there is a lot to do in respect to building out the infrastructure, but from even, and specifically the charging infrastructure and the charging stations throughout the island. But even right now, very doable, very feasible. That's Zoltan. Zoltan is 6'8", I believe. And he really, really helped me out. He's a shooter, camera shooter that is. And he helped me out a lot during Throp X. So this is BYD. I'm gonna eat one of these candies. Got to keep the energy up. Let me just flick through here. That's the JPS team. JPS was a sponsor. Thank you, JPS, for coming through. It was awesome. Chris, what's up? All right, so let me go back to BYD. So I think this is the company that's going to seemingly gonna like make electric vehicles kind of be the norm, and they are outpacing Tesla by a long shot. And I thought it was awesome that ATL Automotive has these cars, and they also believe in electric vehicles. And I'm working now on a vlog podcast type content that I did with ATL. That we're going to be dropping that next weekend, and you'll learn way more about it. But I love this brand. I love what they're doing for the electric vehicle market, and they are game changing in respect to their affordability, the driving experience, and also the technology within the vehicles. All right, let's roll through. We had some speeches. This is Rory. He's from ATO Automotive. He's with Audi. He really broke down a lot of, just went through a bunch of the cars, talked a little bit about the technology. This is the JPS presentation, and really talked about like the charging stations. And they have their own system. There's like 3 tiers of charging stations that are available in Jamaica. The third one, I don't know the name of it, but basically it's like a supercharger, and you can pretty much charge up your vehicle in like 30 minutes and be going about your business. It's James. Bunch of people in the crowd. Bill. Oh, we also had a presentation by Evergo. This is one of the I think are there only 2 charging companies in Jamaica? Anyway, they're one of the leaders in charging stations in Jamaica, and they made a presentation which was awesome, and just letting us know just all about the technology, because there's a lot of range anxiety. This is the terminology that they use for anyone who's concerned that the vehicle is going to die on them while they're driving. And it is a bit of a lifestyle shift in how you think about driving, as opposed to, going with traditional petrol. And she did a great job in like explaining and going through that. And then, of course, you need to be able to fund these vehicles and get auto loans. And so this is a presentation given by BNS, which was awesome. Talked all about these different loans, these auto loans, electric vehicle auto loans, because not every banking institution does electric vehicle auto loans, and BNS is one of them. And we also have a great partnership and relationship with them, and they did a great job. All right, that's the JPS vehicle. That's the Evergo tent. That's the Mini. Another Mini, Candice. I4, that car is beautiful. Candice again. BYD. And so everybody who came to Throp X in person, you'll get this Dropbox link. I feel like I promised it last year, but didn't send it out. So everybody will have access to this Dropbox link, and you'll have all these pictures for yourselves. And I encourage you, I'll put this in the email. If you share it on social media, if you could just tag Throp X, that would really help us, and we'll repost it as well. Another shot of the BYD. This is the Kia. I sat in the Kia. I have to say, I'm not a car guy. I'm not a car person at all. But I was thoroughly impressed with this Kia. I don't even know the name of it. E5. I just see it on the license plate there. Thoroughly impressed with the Kia E5. Like super spacious, technology up the wazoo. Didn't drive it. We just sat in it. Really, it just felt like quality. I'm like, oh my goodness, I would get this vehicle tomorrow. So really impressed with this. Surprisingly, because you think, at least for me, growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, Kia was like more like these affordable vehicles. And now this vehicle, it felt like a luxury vehicle. And I don't know if this is like their top line vehicle or whatever have you, but nonetheless, I was very impressed. Okay, and we're back again. Okay, let's get into the next one. Next set of pictures, that is. All right, let's go. Let's go into some panel days, and we'll get into the fun stuff later with the boat ride. This is at the bar. That's Chris. This is one of our dinners. I think this is the first. Yeah, this is the first night, the first panel day. Again, my brother took some beautiful pictures. I'm there. Let me know if I'm going too fast. Excuse me. It's the VM rep. Really nice day. Really nice evening, I should say. I haven't even seen these. This is the first time I'm seeing that. That's Bruce. Really nice. Let me pop around a little bit. Let's see here. This is the opening speeches. I'm there. Greatest host ever. This is the tech team. Ramon with the live stream. That's Gemini. He did the sound. Shekinah, she is my social media manager. She's the one we got out we got out reels every single day thanks to her and Sahaj. They did an awesome job. Right there on the left is Kezi. She did the PR, got all the information to the press. Pamela, Miss Gray, all the merch. Also thank you guys so much. So many people bought merch. Thank you. Who knows what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting so many people to buy merch, and I'm glad we had more sizes this year. Thank you so much, everyone. Got hats, and then also we had a QR code if you wanted the schedule on your phone. Volunteers, Raquel and Irija. All right, let's go back. Let's pop around a little bit here. And this is Mr. Francis from NEPA. He's the CEO, Leonard Francis, and he gave a great, amazing speech. He was on TV. Yeah, he was on TVJ. If I find it at some point, I promise to send it out. He did a great job. So enthusiastic, so passionate about NEPA, the environment, about building, about the development of Jamaica, and you just felt it through his presentation, and I thought it was just awesome. So really honored to have him, and so thankful he took the time out of, I'm sure, his extremely busy schedule, being the chairman CEO of the National Environmental Planning Agency. Very, very, very important agency when it comes to development. Any sort of development that you're doing, you got to go through them. All right, let's see what else we got here. This is the VM presentation. Like I said, we're going to work on it so you get it this week. Very, very, very important. I think it's for you to understand what they have available. Very important. We're going to get that out this week. Let's see. We got Zoltan there, BTS. We got Mark Martin, landscape architect, killed it again. This is also another year in a row where the construction panel was super, super popular because it's just so rich in information. And all these panels were just like so rich in information. Really, really stellar job. Let's see what we got going over here. Got Noel here. He was on the real estate panel. And let's see, we got the Del Pratt family. So shout out to them again. If you don't follow them, definitely give them a follow. Del Pratt family here on YouTube. Awesome family. I've been following them for years, pretty much since I started doing YouTube. And then, like I said before, they are now licensed realtors and very much in the real estate game. And thank you so much to them for coming and being a part of Throp X and being on a panel and really speaking from their lived experience as it relates to doing real estate in Jamaica, and also being Airbnb hosts, being Airbnb super hosts, as a matter of fact. Awesome power couple. Awesome power couple. We got to get them on the pod. That's what we got to do. We got to get them on the pod. But we're definitely going to release their presentation panel at some point. I don't know when, but not a super priority like this other stuff. Like I want to get to you first, like the banking and the auto show. I want to get all that to you all as quickly as possible. So we're working on that stuff. All right, let's get to the next day here. Let's go to day 2. And that's Tiffany. Oh, wait, okay, missed it. There she is. Tiffany. She is on our, oh man, I forget the name of these panels. But basically, this is a panel of people who, let me see if I can get a wide, of people who moved to Jamaica. Once, give me a second here. Right here. All right, so we have I'm on the left, of course, Tiffany, Julian and his wife, and then Misty on the right, who runs Capital Casual. So Tiffany, I think she, don't kill me if I get this wrong. I believe she moved from New York, and she has a young child, and she lives here in Negril. You might have seen her. She was on so many news outlets, MSNBC. I believe she was on Forbes. Maybe even CNN, just talking about her move to Jamaica and why she did it. And a lot of it, don't mean to spoil it, but a lot of it had to do with her mental health, and she was having high blood pressure challenges. And when she moved here, all of it went down, and it was really for the a better quality of life. And she is really, I would say, a poster child, especially for a young person, to move to Jamaica and move to Negril. And she's a great resource. I wish I had her socials, because she has her own platform, Instagram, and I also believe a podcast as well. And we're definitely going to get her on the pod as well. And I just think she's a great resource for you, especially young women who are considering moving to Jamaica, concerned about a plethora of different possibilities of being here. And she can really guide you and walk you through, at least from her experience, what it has been like for her and her reasonings. Just awesome resource in that sense, an awesome story as well. Julian and his wife. So Julian is my Muay Thai coach, and his wife is also a boxing trainer as well. So you got 2 professional combat sport athletes, trainers, coaches, and this is a family business. They have 3 young boys, and I train with them on before Throp X on a weekly basis. But now that Throp X is over, and now we can get back to it. And just a really awesome, power couple. And they're doing business here. They have an accommodation aspect as well on their property. Beautiful spot on the deep west end, overlooking the sea on top of a mountain. I hate the mountain because we have to run hills on that mountain when we're doing training, but it's so good for that. And just a really good, positive dude, and just knows what he's doing when it comes to mixed martial arts, specifically Muay Thai. He actually just came back from Thailand. And I look at them, and then his wife teaches boxing. And I know sometimes doing these mixed martial arts, or just martial arts in general, can be intimidating for women. And I know a lot of women train with her specifically, but a lot of women also train with Julian as well. And I look at them and the service that they offer with their business as being just such an amazing asset to Negril. And I want to make sure when I see stuff like this, and I want to see business like this, and I want to see family businesses like this, I want to make sure that we support it as much as humanly possible. So if you're in Negril, you've never done Muay Thai, you've never done boxing, highly recommend checking out Negril Muay Thai. He's really awesome dude. He's from France, great attitude, super positive, very patient, very passionate about his sport as well. And same with his wife. And if you are even thinking about doing something of this nature, go into it with an open mind, and you're doing it here, and you're in the comfort of Negril, and it is really great. I highly recommend you give it a try, even if you're not an athletic person or anything like that. It's just something cool to try that if you've never done anything like that. And I highly recommend Julian. And again, just their business and their family is just a huge, in my opinion, a huge asset to Negril, like in a big way. And then finally on the right, we have Misty Memphis. For those who don't know who she is the founder and administrator of Capital of Casual, which is a online Facebook group. And it is probably one of the most active Facebook groups that I know I'm a part of, and gives a lot of great insight and direction, advice on living in Jamaica, living in Negril, things to do, people to connect with. And she really is a stalwart here in the Negril community. And I highly recommend joining the Capital of Casual Facebook group. And she's been on the pod twice, as a matter of fact. All right, let's keep hopping around here. That's me and Gemini, DJ, sound person. Really appreciate his help. That's Matthew Wallace, who is one of the co-founders of Scotch Boys. And he's been on the pod a couple of times, as a matter of fact. This is the farming panel. That's his partner. And this is, oh man, the Source Farm. Yes, I just remembered it. The Source Farm. And, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Let me see. Is it Norma? Hold on. Shirley. It's my mother's name. How could I forget that? And she's based in St. Thomas. Very, very interesting story, coming from Philadelphia, starting this farm. She's been on the pod. She's been on the live stream, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and do something with her next year at her farm. I really want you all to see this. I'm going to figure it out, how to make it happen, how to get out there. All right, what other highlights? This is the shipping panel. That's Keith Duhaney and Roxanne. Roxanne is a broker, and she's a shipping broker. Excellent, phenomenal person. I highly recommend, if you're going to do any major shipping, or maybe even sometimes minor shipping, and you don't want the headache of clearing that shipment, having a shipping broker is life-saving. She literally got all the Throp X merch, which, like, these bags, everything. It was cleared the Friday before Throp X. Throp X started Sunday. We got it Saturday. Like, last minute, talk about coming through in the clutch. And she got everything. Like, I don't have any merch here. I put it all in my dad's garage at this point. But she got all the merch. This is this year's cups. Everybody loves these. Can we see this? Sorry, it's a little out of focus. There we go. And everybody loves these mugs. I love them too. Really, really awesome. So all this stuff was cleared by Roxanne at the 11th hour. I hate stuff like that. Like, I was actually thinking, I said it in when we were doing the presentation after this, that everybody was about to get lauder bags, because I would have had no choice because these things. But it's one of those things, because of, I think it was Beryl that held up the a couple of the suppliers that were based in Florida. So we got these stuff like really, really late. Anyway, we got it. Lifesaver. Highly recommend using her services. And then Keith Duhaney, who represented Dennis Shipping. This is the only company that we ship with here at Travelers. Only company I ship with personally and through my own media company is Dennis Shipping. And then, of course, this is the first time I use Roxanne for my personal business. Travelers always uses Roxanne to clear our shipment. Great person to have in the Rolodex and to have to clear items. This is the investment panel. This is NCB Capital Markets. What else do we have? And then, that's the shipping panel. And then also NCB Capital Markets and VM. Great panel. An article came out. Oh man, I think somewhere that an article came out talking. I think we came out today. Hold on, let me see if I can bring that up. This article came out talking about investments and just the capital markets. Let's see here. Is this it? Yeah. So, can you see that? Yeah. So time to return to stocks. And sorry about these advertisements. And this is so annoying. There we go. Nope. Why is this on my screen? It says expert outline benefits of buying now as interest rates fall. More people discovering the power of investing in stocks to grow their money faster and build wealth over time. And experts say now is the perfect time to start investing in stocks or equities, as they are sometimes called. With interest rates declining and inflation showing signs of easing, investment advisors have been anticipating a rebound in the stock market. Currently, given the bond rate and interest rates overall are coming down, we're starting to see a huge investment back into the stock markets, said senior wealth advisor at NCB Capital Markets, Rashima Winter, during the Throp X Investment Conference 2024. In a recent panel discussion titled Beyond the Basics, Navigating Jamaican Financial Markets, investing experts discussed how the impact of Bank of Jamaica's BOJ decision to ease interest rates 3 times so far this year is fueling the shift. And it goes into it. Let's do another quote here. When you're going into the stock market, you ought to be investing when it's a bearish state. And a bearish state means that it's not rallying, advises Denise Marshall-Miller, senior manager at the VM Wealth Management. While explaining the reason for the shift in investment strategies, Marshall-Miller emphasized the importance of timing market entry. She pointed out that many stocks are currently undervalued, suggesting that now is an ideal time to look for stocks trading below their intrinsic value. If there's a company that, based on the valuation of the stock, should be trading at $10, but it's actually trading at $8, that's a buy. So at this point in time, it's actually a very important entry point to go into the equities market, cited Marshall-Miller. I'll throw that in I think I already threw that in the comments there. One second. There you go. And that's the article there if you want to read more in depth into it. So thank you to our investment panel there. Excuse me. Another awesome panel was the business panel. And so we had the tax TAJ, we had the Company's Office of Jamaica, we had JamPro, and then we had, oh my gosh, I should know this. Hold on, where's the picture? Oh my gosh, somebody help me. Where is she from on the end? Oh, I can't believe. Company's Office, TAJ. You know what? Let me look this up. Let me look this up right now. I can't leave this. One second. I'm just looking up, unless somebody knows it off the bat. I'm going to kick myself as soon as I read it. All right. Company's Office of Jamaica, Tax Administration, JamPro, and we don't have it listed. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm missing that. Oh man, that's annoying. We'll figure that out. We'll get. I totally forget which government admin, government office that she's from. Sorry about that. But great panel discussion. Super engaging, and it's one of those panels that like I was like, is this gonna be like one of those like very, sorry, like for lack of a better term, boring, like mundane panels that kind of just goes through like line by line of the nitty gritty? Exact opposite. Every one of those panelists was super passionate about their respective professions, their respective departments, and they really brought a lot of great energy. No, the Company's Office of Jamaica is in the middle. I forget. I'm so bad. And then her name tag is turned. Let's see if we can get her, if I can find her name tag and we can zoom in. Nope. Not seeing anywhere. Damn, that's embarrassing. Sorry about that. Somebody help me. No, no name tag. Tony Ann is from the company's office of Jamaica. All right, somebody can help me out with that. That would be great. Let's keep rolling here. Let's go to. All right, so those are the panel days. Let's go to some fun stuff. Let's go to the boat ride. All right, let's just scroll through here. This is us getting ready to get on the boat. It's me not matching, which is all good. Wearing my Bula shirt. That's the catamaran that we went on, and then we had to take a boat to get to the boat. They came and picked us up at Travelers, though. That was awesome. We were the last people to get on the boat. It's all good. Well, let's pop around a little bit. Sydney. Everyone having a good time. Sydney again. Showing off that Throp X cup. This was so much fun. I'm so happy that we were able to do this. Delano getting some shots. Kadeem from Loop. And then we actually went for some swimming, which was a lot of fun. Living their best life. We went to the same alma mater, UA, in the building. Me and Mike. We also went to Rick's, which is fun. Oh, yeah. And I jumped off the cliff. I had to bring the Throp X flag. We had to make it epic. I think my brother got like a really good shot of me jumping off. Oh, that should be here. Is it here? Oh, no. Oh, no, it's here. Just making sure I get the thumbs up, make sure I'm good to go. All right. And that's the jump right there. I've been jumping off this cliff since I was a kid, so this is like nothing. I have like the biggest smile on my face doing this too. What's wrong with me? Yeah, gotta let go at the last minute. What an epic shot my brother had. He was on all the way on the boat and he got these shots. This is awesome. That was a lot of fun. What else we got going on here? Got some good interviews on the boat as well. Thank you all for participating. I just started rolling up on people. This is Ricardo. And just started asking them questions. John there, John and Dean. John's from the UK. Dean is from the States. I'm not sure which state exactly. That's Ramon and Raquel, part of the Throp X team, husband and wife. Yeah, this was fun. This is but this was super fun. This boat ride was super glad we were able to do it this year. What else? Oh, my brother put together a highlight. We should have just done this. We're going through each day, I guess. I mean, I know the last. Oh, we got two more. And then property tour. Property tours. Fine, real quick. We're gonna. Hello everyone, thanks for joining the tour today, and we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through. Hold on, let's do the... Yeah, hold on. Hello everyone, thanks for joining the tour today, and we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through about half of them so far, and we're looking at cottages number 4 and 8 at this time. And this is just a view of the balcony. We changed the entrance from being in the middle, and so if you are familiar with the property, there used to be an entrance for 2 rooms in one of these bungalow housing structures, and now each bungalow, each room has their own entrance to the side, and a little bit more privacy as well, because we split the balcony. So you don't necessarily have to talk to the neighbor if you don't want to, but you can of course go around if you would like. And moving into the room itself, these are brand new beds and frames and new design with the throw pillows and the standard pillows in the back there. And then you can also see the kitchenette unit that we renovated, and we'll get to in a second. Also, we added a working desk with a charging station, so you have USB and also Type-C there as well, right below the television. And that's for anybody who wants to get some work done, especially those work from home people. And this is a wider view of the room, and I just want to make note of the AC, because these used to be fan cooled rooms, and now we got rid of the louver windows, and so now it's completely sealed up, if you will, with, as far as the windows go, brand new windows. And also want to bring attention to the ceilings. So the ceilings used to be flat, and now we brought them up to an apex to give a little bit more room and make it feel a little bit more spacious, but still maintain the coziness. And also bringing some more attention to the far right corner of the kitchenette that we have, and we'll get to that in a second, and also the newly renovated bathroom. So we basically gutted this entire place. Even the floor tiles are brand new as well. And this is another angle of the bed, and just want to bring some attention to the LED bed frame, as well as the embedded nightstands and lamps, and another view of the kitchenette, I should say. And as you can see, it has basically all the utensils and tools that you might need to cook a meal. Included is a mini fridge there down on the left, and a hot plate, coffee maker, ice bucket, all the knives and utensils that you may need to feed a small family. Not necessarily Thanksgiving dinner, but you can definitely chef it up in there, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time. This might be a perfect type of accommodation for you. And that essentially is the kitchen. And now moving on to the bathroom. And as I mentioned before, like floor to ceiling, new floor tiles, new ceiling tiles. Got the LED frame around the mirror just to give a little bit more lights. We changed out the square louver windows for the ship window, I guess you can call it. And we got the rainfall shower head and the glass frame shower door, even the towel holders, those are all new. And again, trying to bring together everything in the room, the kitchenette, and to complete the cottage experience, if you will. So very happy and proud of how this was done, and really wanted to give a modern look and feel to this new room category, the cottage. And so also with this wide angle, want to bring attention to the closet. So you got some drawer space there, and you got some hanging space as well, and your safe, of course, and the ironing board is on the other side in between the closet and the window there. And yeah, another angle of the room, and also want to bring attention to that long standing mirror there, so full frame mirror. And that essentially is the bungalow, and this is kind of our way of paying homage to my dad and where he started from with this hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. Started right with one bungalow and grew to the 60-room resort that Travelers Beach Resort is now. And my dad hasn't seen it as yet physically. I think he's seen pictures and everything like that. So just want to share this. All right, we back. Sorry about that. Internet sorted out. Let's get back to these pictures here. All right, cool. This is the property tour. This is really awesome. Damn, Winfield really killed it with these pictures. Awesome, awesome pictures, Field. Appreciate you. This is the first property we went to, which is the Vistabella, which is downtown Negril. I was going to bring up the map. There's so many. I don't want to bring up the map on every one of them. This is a thumbnail pic. I don't know which video I'm going to use for, but it's a thumbnail pic. This is Mr. Daly showing the map to Havrika. Oh, one thing I really like is these Throp X umbrellas. These are like these super high quality golf umbrellas. Had to get them this year. We got beautiful weather the whole entire week. Didn't rain at all. Absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. But anyway, I got distracted by that. I have let me see. Maybe I'll bring that up. So this is the commercial lot that we were looking at. I don't know if this is going to work, but hold on. Let me make myself bigger here. All right. So this is Vistabella. I feel like this is a bad idea. So it's no way you guys can see this. But I wanted to show the commercial. I'm going to put this up here in the office. I wanted to show the commercial part. So this is the commercial part, like up here. This is Nampro Road up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me know if this is a bad idea. But the apartment complex is this is the first phase on this side here. This probably makes no sense to anybody, but this is where we are originally touring. This is the first phase of the development. And then as we move to the western part of the development, this is the last phase. And so this is where the commercial center, which is 19 acres of commercial property. There we go. 19 acres of commercial property. Here, this is Nampro Road, which I'm going to show you in a second. And then this is where the development that myself and Mr. Daly, the developer and landowner, were partnering to create these a small development before all of this goes into place, hopefully addressing the housing crisis that Negril finds itself in currently. And this is one of the biggest acreages of commercial real estate, 19 acres. right across. I'm going to show you in a second where exactly it is on the map, but I just wanted to show you this layout beforehand. I think it's going to be a good opportunity. Thank you, JBDC. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Jamaica Building Development Corporation. Thank you for that. Appreciate you. That's the one I could not remember. All right, so now let's go over to our map here. Probably better off I should have showed you the map first. And okay, we are back downtown Negril. And this is here. This is Negril, Vistabella. This is Vistabella. This is where you drive in here. There's exit and entrance. And this is where we drove up. Right here is, let me show you exactly where we were. Sorry, every time I go into the pictures, like it reorganizes itself. So, no, that's the commercial part. One second, bear with me. I want to give you the accurate information. Here we go. No, this is not it. It's not it either. I'll find it. Give me one moment here. Pretty much here. This is like the original spot that we're at. So this, where we are right now, is right just about, let me make sure I'm seeing this right. Coming to entrance, just about here. So right here, this is where we were right there, like where that picture was taken. So this is the shade that we were using, and this is where the buses lined up and where we were walking. And then we went around here and then went up on this like slight hill right here. And then this had a nice, beautiful view. And so that's where this was taken. And then we moved over to the commercial area, which I was just showing you. And this is the top of the hill that I was talking about. And this is the commercial area. And this is where Mr. Daly was showing us where things were going to be. And he was showing us the layout and the map. And this going back to Google Maps here. So this is Vistabella here. This is the phase 1. And it horseshoes around here. So this is Nampro Road that I was explaining before. And then Vistabella, this is Negril Estate here. Vistabella horseshoes around here. And then this is where the 19 acres of commercial property are going to be. So it's right on the main road. So there's a new gas station here, which is a part of it. And then all this is a commercial center, all this here. Does that make sense? Let me show the map again. Hopefully it makes a little bit more sense. We're going to work on getting a smaller version. So again, like this is the 19 acres that I was talking about, like right here. Right along here, this is Negril Estate here. That middle blank white part, you can see that. And then over here, that is where phase 1 is. And that's what Mr. Daly is selling. I think I told you me and my family have a few lots over there in phase 1. I personally think it's like a great investment. 1 second. Sorry about the paper noise. I think it's a great investment. And a couple things that I like about this development is how wide the roads are and how wide the sidewalks are. And on top of that, all of the electricity is underground. And so as active as this hurricane season and storm season was, I didn't live there, but I would presume if I lived there, I would be probably less affected by power outages and lines going down because it's all underground. Very, very rare that you're going to find that in Jamaica because it's so expensive, but it is huge, 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 huge to have all of your electricity lines ran underground. We're actually thinking about doing it for travelers, but that's probably going to be way down the line, to be honest. But I mean, with these storms getting more severe, more intense, more frequent, it just makes sense to, if you can afford to have them be ran on the ground. And I think anybody doing a development, something to highly, highly consider, and it's going to pay off in the long run. It really, really is going to pay off in the long run, especially the way these storms are going. So this is one of the main reasons why I really like the Vistabella development. All right, let's keep rolling here. This one is SOV. Damn, my brother gotta keep bigging up my brother. Really, really beautiful pictures. Let's see here. Don't know where this was. This looks like Vistabella again. This is Idle Wild Cliffs. Beautiful property. Did we get any wide shots there? Oh, yeah, here. Beautiful. This is West End. Beautiful shot. Beautiful, beautiful shot. Man, looks like a freaking movie. Well, this is West End Negril. All along the coast, this is the view you get. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Everybody there hanging out. Candice and Havrika. Throp X team holding it down. Appreciate you guys. Drop X umbrella. Love it. What else we got? I think this is Idle a while. Is this Idle a while? No, this is the first one. This is Vistabella again. This is Mr. Daly giving us a presentation on the property. And of course, we got to take the iconic every year at the Negril sign. Everybody throwing up the X's. This is awesome picture. Thank you, Field. Thank you, Field. This is an awesome picture. Yeah, this is the group. This is us. This is Throp X. This is the Throppers. Dope picture. Dope day. Long day. Long day. One thing that we decided next year, we're definitely going to split the property tour. It's too much. I realized so much to do in one day. I know everybody's excited. They want to see all the properties, but we got to do it in 2 days. It's just too much. Everybody's exhausted. I'm glad we left the evening open for everybody to do whatever they wanted, and we didn't have anything formalized, and everybody can rest. But I don't know how we're going to do it. Like, I don't know if we can extend Throp X any longer. Like, we're pretty much at a week. This year was 6 days. I don't know. We're going to send out surveys. We'll discuss it here on the live stream. But extend it another day. I don't know. I'll get back to you guys. We'll discuss it. We'll figure it out. But a lot of people, we had three coasters, and a lot of people dropped off. This is not everybody. But it just goes to show you how long the day was. Not everybody made it to the end. Some people just like, nah, I'm good. All right, property tour. And then let's get into, what are we doing here? Let's do the farewell dinner, and then we'll go into we'll go into the Pinnacle tour. One sec here. I think I got to reset. There we go. Farewell dinner. Where are we? This was awesome. This was at Jamaica High Life. That's Jackie and Dora. Jamaica High Life went all out. Do we have a picture of the menu here? If not, I have the menu right there. I want to show you real quick. All out. This is beautiful, beautiful setup. Amashika killing it as usual. Amazing host. Mr. Grizzle. Great keynote speech. Great keynote speech. Perfect, as a matter of fact. And, thank you to him for coming out and taking the time to address everybody. If you don't know Mr. Grizzle, he's the owner of Shirella Inn. Been on the podcast multiple times as well. Man, just lucky to have him be a part of Negril and the Negril community. That's Chris Plummer. He's from TVJ. Thank you to him for hanging out with us all week as well. It's me doing my speech. No, this is me accepting a bag of money from you all. Thank you. I did not expect this. Everybody pitched in and gave a bunch of cash to give to the staff, the travelers, and thank you so much. I gave it to Wingate, who he operates the hotel, runs a hotel, and he's the one that's going to be distributing it. And thank you so much. I was like literally speechless. I didn't even know what to say. Literally. Okay. Let's keep going. Let's see. Everybody in there all white. That's Elaine Bradley, Richard Wallace, myself, Mr. Grizzle, and Jackie Lewis from Jackie's on the Reef. This was fun. This was a fun time. Got Kezi there, PR. Food was freaking amazing. Like when I say they went all out, they went all the way out for us. Really did amazing job. Let me get the menu real quick. 1 second. So they put this menu together. I can't even remember like what we agreed to be honest. Like everything is like a blur. But this is the menu. Let's see. They came up with like a special drink for us. And it was like so nice how they like put everything together, like super professional. I'm just gonna read the dinner menu on the back, and they got the Throp X group personalized menu, like they did on cardstock paper. Like this stuff is not cheap at all, and they did not hold back. So I'm gonna read you the dinner menu. They did curry goat, oxtail ragu pasta, jerk lobster, jerk chicken, chefs on the fly specials. And they had dessert. Awesome stuff. This is the menu right there, the food menu, the dinner menu. Highly recommend going there, visiting there. Absolutely beautiful property, beautiful view. We don't have the any pictures of the view because it was nighttime by the time we got going. But we're doing a video for them, so you'll see eventually. All right, let's get to last set of pictures. We are going to the Pinnacle. And so, man, I tell you, these guys went all out for us, all out for the group. Shona says, after dinner, everyone turned up. DJ Gemini did his thing. Definitely. I got lots of videos. We'll get that up there. We'll get that up on when I do the highlight video for Throp X. But shout outs to the Pinnacle. They did Let me see if I can get a picture of the tent. Do we have it here? But they did this amazing layout of food. This food spread was amazing. They had tents. They literally rolled out the red carpet. Do we have the red carpet here? I don't think so. They literally rolled out the red carpet for us when we got there. They had their whole team, all their sales team. That's Yang Lee, the CEO of the Pinnacle. This is on their observation tower. So we went there and you could see what the exact view is going to be like from the third floor overlooking the lagoon of Montego Bay. We got a tour of their commercial center. That's Tanya. That's Yang. Tanya is the chief operating officer of the development. This is us at the commercial center. We're inside the supermarket, which is huge, has this like big open concept. And this I thought was so interesting, incredibly interesting. So this is I don't even know what to call it. But if you remember the video that I did, it showed how they were using these 180-foot piles that they were pushing into the ground. Let me see if we could get a better picture. And just like, look how tiny we are. And so you have these cement blocks that sits on top of this hydraulic machine that pushes the pile into the ground. Like, it's just like almost no noise. It just very slowly, like, and just pushes it into the ground. No drilling, no nothing. And crazy engineering. Like, I was like so thoroughly impressed with it. Like, look how tiny we are. And if you can see, there are guys under here, inside, and then in the middle right there, that's the pile. And this is what they're pushing down. And this huge machine, it like has legs and it'll get up. I didn't see this, but this is what Yang was telling me. It'll get up and move from this area and then move over to the next area to be able to put the pile in the next location. Like, really high level engineering, like so impressed. It takes about an hour to push, I believe that's what he said, an hour to push one of these piles down. Fascinating process. It's just blown away by that. Completely blown away. This is everybody listening to the presentation by the Pinnacle team. This is me taking some shots. I don't know what I'm shooting. And everybody did a hard hat tour. I think they were at the commercial center. I didn't go with them. Enjoying the food. Food was amazing. Again, shout outs to the Pinnacle. Food was really awesome. And then, so the tents were in this area. This is looking down. This is looking down at the tent area from the observation tower. And so they bus us over in this bus to the first tower and also the commercial center. They're kind of right next to each other. And that has already started. Do we have any pictures of that? Okay, so here it is right here. So you see where that crane is? That crane is adjacent to tower number 1, I believe is a Swallowtail Tower. And then it's kind of hard to see with the depth of field here, but literally right behind it, that's the commercial center. And they still have residents for sale in Tower 1, and then also commercial center. If you're thinking about opening a business, great opportunity to reach out to them, or let me know and I can reach out to them for you, however you want to do it. And you can open your business there when they're open. So they're trying to get complementary businesses for people who are living at the Pinnacle, but also serving the wider Montego Bay community, which I think is stellar. This is us at the first tower. Yang is telling me about all like the engineering with the binding and the thick steel rods, like really fascinating. The engineering of it all is what I was like geeked out on. Again, filled with like the amazing pictures here. This is I believe we were on the second floor, if I'm not mistaken. Second or third floor, I can't remember. And this is us again. This is us at the commercial center. Awesome stuff. Field again with the sick pictures. But I think that's about it. Darnell, thank you, my man. Darnell says, looks even better this year than last year. Thank you. Great work, Throp. What's the process for getting in touch with somebody to purchase land in the first phase? Are you talking about the Pinnacle? Or are you talking about Vistabella? Because we could be off in terms of where we are on the stream. Either way, hit me up, throp@thropmedia.com, and I'll put you in touch with the right people. I'll throw it in. I think you already have my email address, but I'll throw it in the comment section anyway. Oh, sorry, I've been saying Vistabella. Yeah. So hit me up. I will put you in touch with Mr. Daly. I got you. No problem. All right. I think we're gonna wrap there. 2 hours 45 minutes. We haven't done one of these in a long time. Glad we were able to hang out for a while. We got the airport video in earlier, which is awesome. Glad you guys got that. And yeah, hit me up if you want that airport. Let me throw that up one more time. If you want the PowerPoint presentation from the airport presentation by Mr. Bryson, excuse me, just fill out this form. Why does it look? No, that's not it. Sorry, I don't know why it's coming out like this. 1 second. I guess this is the form. Yep, that is the form. I don't know why it's so long of a link. I don't even know if you could click that. Hold on, let me see if I can get you a better version of that. 1 second. Nope, can't get you a better version. Just click the link here, just in case. Sean says, what was inquiring the farewell dinner 2022? Location was the old spa retreat, Ocean Cliff on the west end. That's the name of it, Ocean Cliff. Okay. I think we are going to be wrapping up right now. This was fun. Happy to be back. Took a couple of weeks off for Throp X, but we are back streaming. We got the Throppers Think Tank next Saturday. So if you want to join that, please feel free. Would love to have you. This is our monthly Zoom call that we do every month. And it's just a small group of us talking about anything we want to talk about. I always think about it as this group consultation, if you will. And if you want, the link is maybe in my bio, but it's on Patreon. You can check it out. Throwing it up right there. Don't worry about the date, but we do this every month. You can join on Patreon at Throp, and you can find me pretty easily findable. And we'd love to have you be a part of it. And if for some reason you are not subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe, because there's a lot of people who watch these live streams that are not subscribed, which is crazy. How are you not subscribed? So make sure you subscribe. Would love to have you to continue to be a part of the Throp community, and want to get you as much information about moving to and investing here in Negril. Also, next weekend, mind you, is Reggae Marathon. Oh my gosh, maybe I won't be on stream. I'm not running Reggae Marathon. I haven't been training. I'm just getting back into running. Knees feeling great, as a matter of fact, really, really great. And anyway, Reggae Marathon, if you're in Negril, just be mindful of that. It's on Sunday. They're doing 5K, 10K, half marathon, and that's it. It's the first year that they're doing 5K, which I think is awesome. It's going to get more and more people into running. And I wish I was doing it, but I haven't been training. I've just been too busy with Throp X, and then also healing my knee, which again is feeling awesome. I'm going for a run later, which I'm super stoked about. And that's it. I think that's all the announcements that I have. No. All right. Happy December, everybody. Good to be hanging out with you all again. Good to get my life back now that Throp X is behind us. And everybody who was part of Throp X virtual and in person, you're going to be getting some emails from me this week. And so just look out for those. And if you would fill out the survey whenever we get that off to you. But thank you all for hanging out this Sunday. Happy December. Enjoy the rest of your day. Have an awesome, awesome week. And I will see you next Sunday, hopefully. And if not, I will post something in the community page. See you later, everyone. Peace.